Well, a couple more for the US fleet. They're Bachmann wagons, are both identical, just different liveries. Obviously Santa Fe became part of BNSF, so it's a little bit sort of older than most of my timeline, but I'm not rigid with the American one because obviously beggars can't be choosers really. These are earlier ones with the walkway. The conductor would have gone along the top and applied the brakes, which obviously is an obsolete system now. They've got the earlier couplings. We'll probably change those to KD at some stage, but they were only like £5 each, so cheaper than a Hornby alternative, shall we say, for my 00 side. The next thing was these little modules, which are a 0 to 10 second delay timer relay. So basically you have a trigger, supply, current switch, whatever, and once activated momentarily your current goes through and will activate a relay, obviously normally open, normally closed, depending on how you wire it. So it will give you a 10-second delay. You can increase the delay time by changing the capacitor value, but I've got one of these for an electromagnet, which is another little cheap one. I've got another one coming. I'm going to try these just to see if they'll work with the KD couplings to energise these hidden in the track bed for 10 seconds or less, maybe 5, just to disconnect the couplings. If not, if the electromagnets don't work out, these will be connected to an infrared module for track detection to go with some of the other bits and pieces I've been buying. So one of these would turn a signal on once the infrared beam is activated. Will turn a signal on. Obviously you've got normally open, normally closed, so you can have a green going to red, 10 seconds later it goes back to the green again. Here's a few more shipping containers, only these ones are 00 gauge, not HO, because we've got some intermodals for the UK side as well, so obviously it required some slightly larger 40 footers, I think they are. Some of the ones I've got with my Bachmanns are a bit modern for my time period, so well, a few of these are as well, but I can mix and match. Maybe spray some and maybe get rid of some and exchange them for some other ones maybe. But there are a few names that I recognise. Costco. We've got a whole wedge of these ones. It's a bit lousy today to be working outside on the roof or underneath it. So some of these have what they call the locking bars missing off the doors. They're a separately fitted detail part. They are on some of the Bachmann. Looks like their later Dapol ones have actually moulded it on the door. First ones I've seen that actually have opening doors, which is handy so you can get all the illegal immigrants in. But yeah, I shall have to message them and see if they have some packs of locking bars. I think I can get some from Sea Rail, if not. They're similar to these, I'm not sure. These have got a smooth bottom, so I don't know whether they're Bachmann or Hornby ones. And the Dapol ones obviously all have the detailing on the underside. They do look to be about the best ones. They're sort of better compared to like the Wolfers ones, which is just basic mould. Yeah, so I'll end up having to build myself a shipping container yard. So me model junction order has turned up. Got a few bits, not many. but they were sort of cheaper prices than what you would pay normally, mainly because they're clearing everything out because they finished trading. £8.25 for a wooden scenic, so normally sort of £10 to £13 depending on where you go. Again another one, £6.35 for, I thought this one is very fine, but it's ideal just to give you the highlights when you want to sort of mix it and blend in with other scatters. Slack coal, which is a really fine grade. It's washed down, but it does make your fingers black again with the dust that goes right through from the grading. But it's again another ideal cinder type material, or you can glue it to the tops of little false loads and things. That was £5.49, and obviously some of their stock was quite old. We've got a cardboard packaged and the not so environmentally friendly plastic packaging, although we can recycle the plastic for windows. Couple of Insel Frog, because that's all they had, but it doesn't matter for where they'll go. Large radius Y turnouts. They were £16.80 for the pair. So good price. He thinks so. And some brass tubing. Again, £2.10. These will be used for signal posts and such like. Then some flexible fencing, the old Pico stuff, which I do like this, painted up, quite useful. £2.35. And the gates and stiles to go with the set is £2.25. That lot cost me about £47 as opposed to probably a lot more. He thinks it's a bargain anyway. Well, little arrival later part of the week. There's a little piggyback wagon, HO scale. Did suffer a little minor bit of transit damage. The coupling, they seem to be a bit vulnerable. I think it's an after one off. This is a kit that's been glued together. Not too bad. It's took a bit of knock, but that one came off completely. So I just had to glue a new spigot in the middle and then put the spring back in and clamp it and glue it again and then reposition and glue the other bit, put the bogies back on. The weight was floating about, so we've used a rubberized glue. And some of the deck panels were loose, and the front here where it attaches to the fifth wheel, because it did come with the trailer. I carefully broke away what already hadn't detached, just to re-glue it all a bit better than original. So I'm just waiting for the rest of the glue to set, and I'll put a bit on that and a little bit down in those two holes which locate on that bit, and that'll fix it back in position. I would have preferred it if it had been floating, and I could have just used a little bit of black tack so you could obviously model a loaded or unloaded wagon. Ooh, sea rail, what have we got? Let's have a look. Right, so we have four, try again. Right, so we have 4 kit containers which come with the locking bars as a separately fitted part. The description says they're also the same as the Bachmann ones. The bars are anyway. I don't know whether these are. Because I have got a couple of Bachmann ones on the Intermodals that have got one bar that's fell off. So I did buy 4 of these as extras. They're only £1 for each sprue. Now I did manage to get some transfer packs from Hatton's for their containers, so I think I've got enough for 2 or 4 of them. I did buy a tank tainer kit. I don't think it includes a transfer sheet. You can buy a transfer sheet off of them, which I think probably does 2. I've only bought 1 this time, so I may be a repeat offender and buy from him again. But they also do a high cube container, which is that one, as you can see, is my dapole one with the missing locking bars. So I ordered their iCube on the premise that they will fit, or can be made to fit, the missing ones. I know it's upside down, but there's the locking pins that you locate them to. They're a bit wonky. He has actually sent me some extras here, so maybe that's because some of the moulding's a little bit... I don't want to break the things before I even get them off the sprue. But it looks like they're fairly favourable. I might even get the holes to line up on one or two. If the top and bottom line up, I can just trim off the little pips. Obviously you'll obscure their mounting hole with the bar. Let's face it, you're not going to see much of it, much at all. Nice thing about the dapole ones is the doors do actually open. So I'll undo these ones and we'll have a look at these three. Right, we haven't got long left on the battery, so you can see the separately fitted parts on the these are the ready to run versions. With the data panel, I don't know whether the camera is focusing, struggling a bit. It's all fully legible. They've got the removable base so you can load a little bit of weight in them. I've just had to try and fettle this one a little bit because it had a bit of a bulge in it. I've shaved a little bit off, but it's still a little bit proud. I just popped it out, sitting a little bit wide. It's a bit tight. This one wants a little bit of sanding, I think, just to get it in. There's just some little locating lugs around the sides. But the nice one is this reefer, 40 foot, with the detail of the chiller unit. I've got an old Walthers one which is just literally a printed mould on the back, where this one is fully detailed. And these are £10 I think, or £9.50. And those were £7.50. There's some price variation in some of them, presumably maybe licensing costs, I don't know. So hopefully we can make these ones look a little bit better, and we'll have a few more. These are double O gauge ones. He has got a selection of HO ones as well, should you be interested.